What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, yo boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's episode of Wrestling Gold Friday Night. Looks like we on Facebook, and yes, now we are. Oh, I guess a little bit of delay there. Anyway, yes, welcome to Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where we discuss the good old days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real. Because damn it, it's still real to us. Yes, it is Friday night, so this, like I said in my little advertisement 30 minutes ago, crack open that cold one. It's Friday. It's time to get that weekend started. And also say cheers to all the hardworking men and women who went through the grind all week and who are going through the grind all weekend. We appreciate you all. So cheers. So yeah, of course you folks know what to do. If you're on Facebook Live, hit me up in the comments. If you're on YouTube, hit me up on the chats. Help your boy out. Click on that like button. Also, if you're not a subscriber or a Facebook follower, do both. That sounds good. Oh, sorry. Uh, Something went down the wrong pipe. So yeah, if you have anything to say about anything at all, anything I discussed tonight, any memories, share those, or be friendly. Just give me a good old hello. Um, Joking. Damn, it's Friday on yes, heavy wrestling weekend. You're gonna get well, I get a bit of it, I guess. Ring of Honor, um, or is having a show tonight on, I guess, pay per view or on their streaming network or whatever. I think I seen the 0 hour of that, or it was advertised on YouTube. Of course, I didn't watch it. But it's cool to see Chris Coleman still working for him, doing, I guess, commentary or whatever he's doing there. Um, what else? I got a little, got a couple drops of rain over here. That's about it. Um, yes, a lot of wrestling, AEW, NXT, WWE, Saturday Night's Main Event, and a WWE is putting on a all female, all women's wrestling premium live event. Go listen to. Discussed that last night. So after this, go watch last night. This on YouTube, so I think it's still on Facebook as well. If you're on Facebook, check it out there. But yeah, just hit us up with anything. Hey, let me know what you're drinking tonight. If it's a cold adult beverage, let me know what you're drinking. If it's non alcoholic drink, let me know as well. Because this is how we kick off the weekend. Like I said, only the, the texted somebody earlier. But I'll do that later. Um, what else is going down here? Here we reconnect. Okay. What else should I babble about before I get things started here? Really don't have much to say except for that beer's cold and my water is it's cold. Okay, it's starting to melt a little bit now. Kept it in the freezer a little too. What makes it good? That alone, all the little get a little bit of stuff out of the way here. Ain't we talk about? Let's just get down to it. Talk about a bit about wrestling. Like I said, the AEW stuff, WWE stuff, I discussed last night. Didn't really discuss NXT, but I discussed that last night. Hot Show live stream. Like I said, after this one, you didn't watch it yet. Go back and watch it. It was a pretty dandy little show. I got on a little bit of a soapbox at the end, but I did say that at the end, nothing really real world stuff. Uh, just people that it was just one of those things I just don't understand about people sometimes. Um, if you're going to try to do something like this, do it on your own merit, kind of instead of trying to put other people down and piggyback off them, and you get like a little fan base there. It wasn't. I mean, nobody's. I'm not big enough for anybody to come out of or come after, so I'm safe in that department. Uh, if I was big enough, I think I got. I think I'm starting to. Kind of thought about. It. I got some mellow notes about if I ever did. People came after me. My responses. I think I would just laugh at them. That's like number one. Probably won't even um, acknowledge them anyway. But anyway, that was what my soapbox is about. Like I said, back last night, watched that, and let's get this show. Let's talk about some wrestling. Let's talk about some wrestling, and you know how we do it here. If you watched this before, what I always do, I kick things off with a little bit of babble. Uh, give cheers to the crowd, the men and women who worked hard this week, and we do a little history of professional wrestling, namely today in wrestling history, which is uh, today is Friday, of course, July 11th, year of our Lord 2025. But this is what happened in the past. Let's go to the past year. On this day in 1975, in Atlanta, Georgia, at the Municipal Auditorium in a no DQ match, Abdullah the Butcher defeated Mr. Wrestling 2 to win the Georgia title. Yet there's a legend himself. An interesting video that came out, or it was a podcast. I listened to part one of it about Mr. Wrestling 2. It seems interesting, and so far it's not uh, putting Mr. Wrestling 2 in a good light. Say that, but like I said, went there at the time, but I'll listen to the rest of it. See, just form your own judgment. I think I found it on YouTube. I think it's a podcast. Listen to part one, and for some reason I couldn't find part two, but I think it's called The Case Against Mr. Wrestling 2. Seems interesting. Anyway, on this day in 1977, for Jerry Jarrett Promotions in Memphis, Tennessee, at the Mid South Coliseum, drawing 8,044 people. Dick Roberts, Buddy Roberts, of course. Jerry Brown, the fabulous blonde, or the Hollywood Blondes. I believe that's what they were called. Defeated Norville Austin and Jerry Bryant. The Exterminators defeated Jim Garvin and Chief Bold Eagle in a match where the Exterminators masks were at stake, so they got to keep their masks. Good Cowboy Bob Ellis defeated Leroy Brown and Mickey Poole, no relation. Here we go. In a handicap match. Southern champion Paul Orndorff defeated Igor in a title versus mask match. And of course, your main event was Bill Dundee defeating Jerry Lawler in a steel cage match where Lawler had to pin Dundee twice in 15 minutes, and Dundee was putting up $4,000 versus Lawler's car. So yeah, this was 1977. I started watching wrestling like tail end of 85 to 86. And Bill Dundee did go to Crockett's, Central States, and other places, but he would always come back to Memphis, sometimes as a baby face and tag team partner with Jerry Lawler. And they had crosswords. They couldn't get along no more, so they would feud against each other. And this, I mean, so this is 1977. Not sure when they really kicked off their feud, but it lasted like decades, at least a couple decades, maybe three. Uh, maybe they're feuding right now. And they'll probably live in the same neighborhood. So outside cooking barbecue together, and the next minute they're uh, getting into a match right there on the street. But yeah, these guys drew a lot of money in Memphis and feuded against each other for a long time. And they would always find ways to make it interesting. I think at one point, Bill Dundee had put his wife's hair on the line. Bill Dundee was hell bent to driving Jerry Lawler out of town, and he even went to the point of he already got his own head shaved. Then wasn't able to get Lawler's head shaved. I think this is a feud. Uh, he's trying to get Lawler's head shaved because Lawler will have feuds in that region. Of course, the famous one with Lawler, Austin, and Tommy Rich Interfere and all that. But for that, Dundee, I think Dundee got his head shaved or kept his hair, but he put up his wife's hair, or his wife at the time's hair, and Bill Dundee was unsuccessful, and poor wife. Anyway, on this day in 1982 in Orlando, Florida, at the Eddie Ground Sports Stadium, NWA World Champion Ric Flair defeated Butch Reed by disqualification. Brian Blair, or just Brian Blair at this point, defeated Jimmy Garvin. Not sure if he was gorgeous yet or not. This plain old Jimmy Garvin still at the time. I think he 82. I think he has Sunshine. He has Sunshine already in Florida, and this is before he went to World Class. Brought Sunshine with him, who I think is his cousin. Then eventually got his wife, Patty, who would professionally be called Precious in the wrestling, and much stay with him till bitter end. Well, I mean, she kind of wasn't around, at least on camera, during a Freebird, where he was officially called a Freebird. Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes during that time in the late '80s, early '90s, and till the tail end of that little run, she kind of made an appearance after that. But anyway, at this time, Brian Blair beats Jimmy Garvin for the NWA Florida title. On this date in 1983, Marcus Lewis was born. So happy birthday, Marcus. On this date in 1994, Brian Christopher regained the USWA title by defeating the Dream Machine, Troy Graham. Well, I think a couple weeks ago we kind of went through all that, discussing Troy Graham. I had a uh, long history in Memphis too. Came in, they put a mask on him, and kind of had a lisp like Dusty Rhodes, and they call him the Dream Machine. And depends on who you ask. I think Jerry Lawler in his interview said, "Hey, I do believe we have people convinced that was Dusty Rhodes in the mask." Uh, did not know Lawler and Dusty had like a little feud. It was back in the early '70s, 75 or 77. Not sure how many matches they had to get each other out. I have to look into that. But did not know they had like a little, at least a promo feud anyway. And last but not least, on this date in 1999, WCW presented Beach Blast or Bash at the Beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, at the National Car Rental Center, drawing 13,624 shown live on pay per view. Pretty good number. That's a, I don't think it's a sellout crowd, but I'm not sure how much the National Car Rental Center held at the time or holds. But 5-digit numbers, that's pretty good. And this is where WCW was, let's just say, not that good. Kind of difficult to watch sometimes. But they still had their pay per view, still had their fans. They had a dark match. CJ Offee and Jeremy Lopez defeated Jamie Howard and Jet Jaguar. Um, Cat Miller defeated Disco Inferno. He was actually entertaining to watch at this time. Uh, Ernest Miller was. Uh, Scott, Scott Steiner had Medeja. He had a valet too at the time. I think she was also a former Nitro Girl uh, captive. He'll kind of be trying to be James Brown and stuff like that. But he was, like I said, kind of entertaining to watch at this time. Rick Steiner, the WCW TV champion, defeated Van Hammer or Dean Malenko. WCW US champion David Flair defeated Dean Malenko. The No Limit Soldiers, Conan, Rey Mysterio Jr., Swole, and B.A. Brad Armstrong defeated the West Texas Rednecks. Kurt Hennig, Bobby Duncan Jr., Barry, and Kendall Windham in an elimination match. Um, yeah, this is one of those feuds where people actually started cheering for the West Texas Rednecks. Uh, they they somebody, I don't know if it was actually them singing, but they had a song called "Rap Is Crap." Dude, they were kind of over it as well. If there's a few bright spots during this era, there was the West Texas Rednecks. And yes, I am saying West Texas Rednecks with Kurt Hennig from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Bobby Duncan Jr., Barry and Kendall Windham. I believe all three of those from Texas, but Kurt Hennig, not a natural born Texan, but they made it work. I don't know. Kurt Hennig was, I mean, he was a big hunter and all that stuff, so it's kind of a, might not be from West Texas, but kind of a redneckish kind of guy. David Finley won a Junkyard Battle Royal to win the WCW Hardcore Trophy. Also in this match was Cyclops, Jerry Flynn, Hardcore Hack, who you really know as Sandman, Horace Hogan, Brian Knobs, Hugh Morris, La Parka, Public Enemy, Rocco Rock and Johnny Grunge, Steve Regal, Mr. Electricity Steve Regal, which we watched last week on the Great American Bash. This will be William Regal. Silver King, David Taylor, and Mikey Winfrey. WCW World Tag Team Champions, Diamond Dallas Page and Bam Bam Bigelow and Canyon. I forgot that it was a New Jersey triad. They kind of had the free bird rule at the time. Any two of the three can like could be Page and Bam Bam, Bam Bam and Canyon, or Page and Canyon. Take your pick. But anyway, on this night they defeated Perry Satter and Chris Benoit. Gosh, don't know who taught him into this one, but Buff Bagwell pinned Roddy Piper in a boxing match. Mills Lane was the special referee. Of course, Mills Lane, um, very uh, say legendary referee in boxing. If you watch a lot of boxing, and then especially in the '90s, the Mike Tyson run, probably 2000s as well, or late '80s. Late '80s maybe too, or mid to late '80s. It was. I mean, you can kind of see him there in the picture. Little short, bald headed guy. Uh, Can I talk like this? Break it up now. Break it up. Come on. 1, 2. But yeah, he was that guy. Um, but he was kind of the Tommy Young of boxing, or the Earl Hebner, or who's the main referee now? Um, Trying to think. Uh, whoever's I mean, I don't think there's like a main referee. People think of now as like that solid senior official. Uh, Neither in AEW or I guess it's AEW are repeaters, but I hate to put her in the category as Tommy Young, Earl Hebner, Scrappy McGowan, whoever, Dick Patrick. But yeah, he was pretty much that referee in boxing. What I'm trying to explain. And in the main event tonight, Randy Savage and Sid Vicious defeated Kevin Nash and Sting. As re- as as a result, Randy Savage won the WCW World Title. So yep, the world title was decided on a tag team match. But yeah, you see Randy Savage there with Sid Vicious just for that big leg break. It will come a little later here. And no, that's not Miss Elizabeth with him. That's the it's Gorgeous George. It's where Randy bulked up a whole lot. Like really put on the muscle mass really quick. Uh, Speaking of referees, there's Dick Patrick right there in the picture. Kevin Nash. But yeah, like I said, this was really just that dysfunctional years going to WCW. Um, Obviously, there's trying to think, but yeah, there was some bright spots here. Like I said, the West Texas Rednecks were fun to watch. Ernest Miller, not great, but kind of entertaining to watch. I guess they were trying to. I vaguely remember if they was trying to do something with Buff Bagwell here. Because I'm thinking, damn, so Roddy Piper, the Job in a boxing match with anybody. That had that had to be some negotiation there. That, that had to be an extra payoff, if anything. But uh, I don't think I got this pay per view. 99. Probably did. Don't know why. Oh, because why would yeah? Some reason where I lived at this time, Um, I don't think my cable company. Well, some reason I probably try to get a pay per view or something like that, but the how the cable company worked it was kind of old fashioned at the time. It was like a updated box and everything, updated remote control, but kinda behind the times on everything else. That might have been the reason I did not get it. Yeah, 'cause think I yeah, where I was living at the time, I would move away from there years later. Yeah, don't remember getting it. This I watched the Nitros, of course. Sometimes, like I said, it was sometimes painful to watch. Like, it has some entertaining moments in it, but, very, very hard watch. I I know Public Enemy was there. It seemed like they went back to ECW. I guess they came back. I don't know. Can't Yeah, I miss a lot of them. Um, then then when I moved away from them, moved away from where I was living there to closer to what or close to the office I worked at, uh, started getting a few more pay-per-views here and there, not too many, but soon after that, CW got sold. The only thing we had was WWF. Not I think it was time I was like I was kind of getting that real grind of working a whole hell of a lot of time. See, I started in '95, so yeah, I was 4 years here, and it was really throwing a lot at me at once at this point, and must have just done something good. At least the majority of it good. Still work at the same place, uh, but yeah, that concludes today in our wrestling history. Not a whole lot going on there. Yeah, I was trying to find something because I'm at least trying to do some kind of little format here, because I do cover 70s, 80s, 90s. That's it. Uh, and I was thinking about maybe starting, covering 60s somewhat, but it's hard enough trying to find something, uh, contents to watch in the 70s. So God, it'll be very hard to watch or to find anything from the 60s unless I use that video or that Internet Archive thing. But in the Internet Archive, I couldn't really find anything because I was either wanting trying to find Georgia Wrestling in '75, kinda highlighted this, Abdullah and Mr. Wrestling 2 maybe, or 1977 Memphis, which really couldn't find, and that's where I kinda discovered, oh, Jerry Lawler and, Dusty Rhodes at least had a verbal feud. I don't know if they had many matches, but at least they had a verbal, promo feud, but I'll definitely look more into that, maybe talk about that for next following weeks, but I did find something at least July of 78, and that was Southwest Championship Wrestling. Yes, that is a very young Tully Blanchard with his dad, Joe Blanchard. Of course, Joe Blanchard owned the territory. Um, should be an interesting little watch here. So let me this on here, back here. So I'm going to share the link in the comments on Facebook. Uh, I know I forget to do this a lot, but I'm thinking about it. Thank you for Classic Wrestling Stuff for putting out this video. Of course, we put this out, I guess, a year. Yeah, it says a year ago. Got a good number of views, and hopefully, I help you get a few more views. So when anybody who's joining me live is ready, let me know. I'll do the little countdown here, and yes, you folks are ready, good to go. I'm good to go. Volume list, so I can. All right, here we go. Countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play now. And I believe he's talking about Tito Santana. And like I said, that is a young Tully Blanchard. And obviously, he already introduced himself. That's Joe Blanchard, Tully's dad. Obviously, in this promo here, he's definitely looking, definitely still learning. Oh, Bronco Luvich. So did they have it? The chops, the sideburns, that the butterfly collar. Did they have a pandemic in 1978? I don't see any fans. I don't think I hear any fans. Do y'all hear it? When you're watching, do you see or hear any fans? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Did they have a pandemic in 1978? That's the reason there's nobody in the crowd, no fans, empty arena because it's the pandemic of 1978. Oh, I think this is uh, David Von Ericks. He's sort of in the learning process too at the time. I don't think they can get Bronco Luvic to fly to Japan. Okay, I think I hear a couple fans. He went 60 minutes with the greatest wrestler on God's green earth. Yeah, tough crowd. If there is a crowd, I don't even really see the crowd. Big Bell Rathke. Old Bronco. Like, look, I'll kneel down. That's about it. I ain't laying on my belly. I'll kneel down here, but hey, this being on TV and everything, there had to be no crowd noise. It had to be a little snug. Man, and notice I don't notice any thigh slapping going on. And oh, I see a person. There's two people. It could be Kevin or Carrie and Oh no, there's three people. Three people in the crowd. Oh, not the claw. It's a sleeper. Now this is how you do it. Now they don't do this part no more. Oh wait a minute, it's not might not be the finish. Maybe. See, they don't do this anymore unless it's a Sami Zayn match. Oh, yeah, they like I said, they don't do that no more unless it's a Sami Zayn match. Most of the time now it's just raise the arm up once and that's it. Hey, Davey, you supposed post. Oh, we got people coming in late. Have commercials from 1970. So blank. Loso Endosedi. Oh, Henry Garcia. Ole. Ole. Nope. No commercials. Ole. So, a breakaway from the great, you know, display of snapmares there, but uh, so at the site I'm working at now, we got some uh Mexican workers, all legal, by the way. Uh, and they usually fix their own lunch. Like there, they have like little portable stoves, and they warm up some tortillas, and I think they prep some chicken and stuff like that during the day. And man, they had some stuff the other day. It looked and smelled great. I told the guys like, dude, you don't have to give me the recipe for that. I know I need to go to that place uptown. That yeah, well, preseason. There's a store uptown, Mexican grocery store, I believe, that will preseason like steak or chicken and stuff like that. So you make all you gotta do is throw them on a grill and uh, cook them up, and then throw them in the tortillas. Oh, it's a Garcia and the soda and the Sida and the city. Ole. He bombs him again. And he bombs him again. He bombs him in the mid section. He's gonna pick his man up and bomb him again. Hits the ropes. Oh, and then Garcia said, "Look, up, never mind." Oh shit! What the fuck? He said, "Nah, nah, nah. Get this guy's elbows off the back of my head. This don't feel right." That Garcia's like, Look, man, that Webos to the back of the head should be illegal. Should be illegal. The slowest Mexicans ever. Dale Valentine. I do believe that's Buddy Roberts. Yes, yes, that is Buddy Roberts. And of course, this is before it became Freebird Buddy Jack Roberts. I think he was doing stints as the Hollywood. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. He was a member of the Hollywood Blondes. Jerry Brown. Yeah, nothing breaks up a hole more than having your Webos in somebody's uh, face and mouth region. Guzman, I've heard his name a few times. See, Ricky Romero. Ricky Romero. Is that the father of the Youngbloods, or is that one of the Youngbloods? He bombs him. Oh, he bombed him in the chest. Yep, there he goes. No, he bombed him. Bombed him right in the face. Ash Street, edgy. Ash Street, say. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if they just don't have the. I don't know if I guess that building just don't have good acoustics. But I see that front row right there just going wild. The Guz Guzman maniacs going Hector, 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 Guzman, Guzman, Guzman. So, as he ever told me, you remember the most randomest shit. Sometimes I don't know. I do got a knack of that. Big elbow there, like his brother Greg Valentine. But he's gonna lock in the figure four. And no, Buddy Roberts and Greg Valentine are not related. In case anybody's wondering. Guzman said, "No mas, no mas." Bronco don't like moving around too much. Dale said, "Damn it, you made me move around way too much, way more than I want to." Write this shit down. Your 50s. Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm months away. It's not years away no more. It's months away. Now, if you're wondering why Johnny Valentine's walking on crutches, his career was ended in the same plane crash that Ric Flair was in, and they mean to people. So yeah, this was 3 years after the plane crash in Wilmington, North Carolina. I mean, he's able, I guess, walk around with crutches, but he was paralyzed. I mean, it ended Johnny Valentine's career. Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, Texas was one of those places where him and Wahoo, you know, drew big money with their feud. Uh, Texas and the Carolinas as well. They kind of just follow each other, feuding with each other, and drew pretty good money. Oh, Rocky Johnson. That's kind of a young Al Madrill back there. Hey, there is people there. Yeah, I was about to say, the Hill and or the Almadrill Brian Diaz thing, it was fine at the time. It's just world class couldn't draw shit at the time. A lot of bad things have happened were happening. What? What? Yes, this is how I feel like when I'm on site when the Mexicans are talking. Sometimes I'll sit there and go, "What'd you say about me? What?" Hey, muchas gracias. I actually say that a lot. Yeah, world class was pretty good. I mean, there he is, Rocky Johnson, the Soul Man, against Leo Sitz. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, it had its moment, had its good moments, had its bad moments. So you got Rocky Johnson here in Southwest Championship Wrestling. I wonder how many stepbrothers Dwayne Johnson probably has in this area of Texas. 'Cause when I hear Rocky dug the ladies, yeah, world class had Kabuki. Uh, it was probably one of the few places the Fantastics actually got over pretty well because Rock and Roll Express never wrestled there. And Scott Casey, Chris Adams, dude, I dug Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams. That's not funny, but I don't know who said. I don't know if somebody in the crowd said that or Rocky Johnson said that. Master G. They had Jeet Swinson, Nor the Barbarian, had I mean, Bruiser Brody Abdullah Butcher. Some kid named Steve Austin. The Dingo Warrior. What is a Dingo Warrior? Was he from Australia? Dingo. They also had a Lance Von Erich. Dude, they had a Matt Bourne and Buzz Sawyer teaming together as a tag team. They also had a Missing Link, One Man Gang. Yeah, I was about to say, Rocky Johnson wasn't a small guy. Uh, Atlas as Simba. Oh yeah, yeah, because they what was it? No, that was actually Global who had that. Global had Rasta the Voodoo Man, and he would like point at a body part, and because of the he put a voodoo spell on his opponent's. He just point to the body part, and that's what will end up getting hurt, and that's what you work on. And but yeah, that was Global when he had Rasta the Voodoo Man. Or random bullshit. Yes, I know. Because I know he had actually Brian Diaz was there. This is after, World Class is done finished. He came back to wrestling, but he was kind of more of a enhancement guy for Global. But he had a match with Rasta the Voodoo Man. I think he pointed at Brian Diaz's knee, and during the course of the match, uh, Diaz threw Rasta in the corner and went for like a knee strike in the corner, and Rasta move, and of course Brian Diaz hurt his knee, and what kind of cost him the match. And this is before Papa Shango. It's like shortly after they had the Rasta the Voodoo Man. That's when WWF had came out with Papa Shango. Does seem like I know it's a kind of a stretch though, but the fans are a little more vocal on this one. Not as much. And Rocky giving old Leo a good portion of this match. Uncle Fred. Um, actually, when I guess when Southeast went down, uh, it was Texas All Star who had Big Bubba or Uncle Fred Altoman Altman. I think can't remember his last name that well. But yeah, he was in Texas All Star before he went to before he went to Memphis. So he went to Memphis, went to All Star, then came back up. Now, who else was in Texas All Star at one time? As the American Force, Paul Diamond and Shawn Michaels. What's up, Sheiky baby? Sheiky baby in the house. How's it going? Oh, I think he's been humble real. Hey, Bubba, going on, Sheiky baby? Yeah, I think Hogan's right for the pickings. I think he has some vertebrae fused and stuff like that. I think he has some like neck or back surgery just recently. So he's right for the pickings for you. Fuck that Hulk Hogan. Hot Tua. Hey, there's some. Hey, don't be saying that Hot Tua too much. Some chick stole that gimmick from you. You say Hot Tua means that. I mean, she only lasted like 15 minutes, 15 seconds. Yeah, you might want to hurry up. She might be she had like 15 minutes of fame, then uh scammed a few people. So yeah, you need to put her in a camel clutch. Umbrella. Give her short clothes. I was talking about you last night, Sheiky baby. Yep, that is Tito Santana. Now, Charlie Fulton was a pretty good wrestler back in his day. Funny that Richard Blood is Ricky Steamboat's real name. Good man there, Bubba. Tito Santana. Yeah, I was talking about you, Sheiky baby, last night. You remember that time where you, Marge and Eddie, or Marge and Eddie told you to watch over a rat while he was working on another female? You gave the other lady a little bit of medicine, and she kept saying, "What Monty at? What Monty at?" And he finally got mad and said, "Fuck Monty, fuck Monty," and gave her a short clothesline. That's from Marge and Eddie, though. It's on his cheating review. So if that story ain't true, uh, go fuss at Marty. He shared that story. Yeah, Fulton's he's a pretty big dude. Like I said, he was a I think he had a few good little runs here and there in a few territories. Take half of it with salt and the rest with a shot of penicillin. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. You two got a car kind of smoky in there. Yeah, I heard when 50 pulled y'all over, you rolled your window down, and police officer got a contact buzz just from the smoke coming out. That's just what I heard. I don't kill the messenger. I heard I heard it from the internet, so it's got to be true, right? Tito wasn't exactly a small dude either. Like ow, 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 ow. And that's all, folks. This portion of Southwest Championship Wrestling. Got to see a lot of people on that one, man. Got to see David. Got to see Buddy Roberts as Dale Valentine. Got to see a very young Tito Santana being called Richard Blood. Like I said, if I ain't mistaken, I think Ricky Steamboat's real name is Richard Blood or Ricky Blood or something, or Richard Blood. So it's kind of funny, Ricky Steamboat is in the territory at the time, but yet somebody else is using his real name. And why not being Tito Santana? And it kind of came full circle when they was both in the WWF at the same time. Pretty sure they probably worked a couple of territories at the same time as well. But yeah, it was like I said, uh, matches were pretty good, pretty solid. Definitely solid because the crowd wasn't making much noise. And you didn't see no slapping the thigh, so that was oh, it's still on? That showed it was off on here. You must be a few seconds slower. It show I don't know why. No Von Erich's interview. This is yeah. Okay. I was wondering who that. Yeah, this kind of had a black screen and looked like on the timetables it was about over with, but not bad. But yeah, that's a definitely young Kevin, young David. Uh, and of course Bob Ellis. I think definitely. Uh, I don't think he wrestled much longer. I forgot when he retired. Look him up right quick. Old cowboy Bob Ellis. Wow. So he debuted in 1957 retired in 1980. So, yep, uh, 2 years after this, he retired. The inventor of the Bulldog headlock, by the way. Well, some interesting thing here about Bob Ellis. Bob Ellis served 3 years in the United States Army as a paratrooper, making 53 jumps during the Korean War. That's a lot of jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. Yeah, he passed away in 2018 at the young age of 89. A swell guy. I think Bill Watts talked about him in his interview, talking about kind of a swell guy he was. Yeah, it was. I mean, this one, like I said, I was asking, I was like, man, was there a pandemic again, or was there another pandemic back in 1978 that I didn't know about? Uh, Social distancing, no crowds, but as the crowds kind of came in a little late, a little vocal during the Rocky Johnson match. Not much, but could have been just the acoustics of the building. Um, I will say, Joe Blanchard's not that great of a commentator. Maybe, yeah, eventually he did get himself a commentator, but I guess it was in the books in 1978. Get himself a commentator because he is, dude, not the most, charismatic commentator. No Gordon Soley, no Jim. He was no Gordon Soley, no Jim Ross. Uh, uh, what was his name? World. Uh, de- Definitely not a Bill Mercer. Mercer. I remember the name from the commentary for World Class for a long time. Bill Mercer. Did he pass away? Yeah, he passed away. That was earlier this year. Yeah, it could have been the acoustics in there. Not sure what building that was using at the time, but and the later, I guess 80s, closer to the 80s. I guess I can find a 1979 one. I think they wound up did getting a bit better building, some better lighting, and they either put some mics up or did something a little bit better to fix the acoustics, or got a better building that could handle, to hear people. Not as loud as some of the studio shows were, but yeah, so interesting seeing those people. But yeah, that's kind of what I want to do. It's like maybe one week do 70s, the next week get somewhere in the 80s, next week 90s. Um, I have to when I piece the show together, look at the history, trying to get something that kind of follows along something that we talk about, or I talk about, as far as the history. That way, we kind of mesh it up in there. But yeah, definitely interesting. Funny to see this a young Tully Blanchard and uh, David and Kevin Von Erich, a young Tito Santana. Still think it's kind of funny that he had to go by Richard Blood though. Which I was kind of wondering because there's a few times where when I was looking up like historic stuff on a website, and I would see a Richard Blood, but they would say it was Tito Santana. I'm like, can't be right because that's Ricky Steamboat's real name, and I'm pretty sure he used that when he first started. Because if I remember his interview correctly, that uh, guess he started in Florida. He was trained in by Vernon, Minnesota. He's from Florida. Actually, Ricky Steamboat went to same high school as uh, the office manager I work at. Yep. She actually asked me, it's like, do you know a Steamboat or Richard Blood? Like, and she's like, Ricky Steamboat? Uh, like, yeah, what happened to him? Because this is when the Nexus came out and PJ Black did the uh was a 450 splash on Steamboat, and Steamboat wound up getting injured or something like that. How with the injury, like a was it a concussion or something like that, or just I guess in the moment kind of had a small aneurysm. I forgot what it was, but had to be rushed to the hospital and stuff like that. And I guess the high school Facebook page said, "Hey, prayers go out to our former, former classmate." And that's when she was like, "Yeah, I went to high school." Like, yeah, I know he was from Florida, born in Florida, uh, and talked about all the things I knew about. I was like, yeah, born in Florida, and dad's American, mom was Japanese. That's the reason Ricky Steamboat was never a heel. He was, even though he was American, he was never a heel in Japan either, even against Japanese wrestlers. Just because he did look Hawaiian, I guess. To, well, it's racist. Not meaning to be racist, but the same mouth features as mom. Um, so it was like we can't make this guy be a heel here. Heel. Uh, so when he wrestled in Japan, yeah, like a small brain aneurysm. Uh, but yeah, I think Rick, even at that time, Rick is kind of old, and it's been a long time since he's team took a bump, much less a 450 splash. But anyway, um, but yeah, so even against Japanese wrestlers, Ricky Steamboat never worked as a heel in Japan. I remember correctly, yeah. But yeah, I think it was when he first started, he used his real name, and I think when he came to, if I remember the interview correctly, and him talking about it, he had I guess it was Ole Anderson or somebody. It's like, dude, you're way too handsome, good looking a guy to be called Richard Blood. Richard Blood sounds like a heel's name. So there was a wrestler at the time before his time named Sam Steamboat. So I was like, hey, why don't you be Ricky Steamboat? And apparently, you know how Ricky Steamboat has that like legendary arm drag he does. Um, I think he got that from Sam Steamboat. A little history about the real Richard Blood, of course, Tio Santana. Do look like he is in good shape there. Not a small guy. That Charlie Fulton definitely not a small guy. Not sure how long he lasted. I think he kind of bounced around territories. Had little pushes here and there, but not anything huge. Kind of a journeyman type wrestler. Was never the like the It was never like the Jerry Lawler in any kind of territory or anything like that. It's a good hand uh having your territory. It's cool stuff though. But next week we'll be here to do it again. I think I'm gonna call it a night tonight. Uh, got a pay per view to watch tomorrow. So a buddy of mine's coming over. I think my brother's coming over too. Should have asked him earlier, but I'm pretty sure he's asleep now. I'll text him and see if he's coming. But anyway, could be an interesting pay per view. But like I said, still love watching this classic stuff. I'm watching classic stuff as soon as I get done with here, or at least go to sleep to it. I don't see myself staying up too late. I'm not even gonna cook myself dinner. I'm just gonna eat a sandwich and call it a day. But anyway, appreciate everybody on Facebook and YouTube checking it out. And like I said, if you not, of course, not watching this live, you watch it on repeat. Hey, still hit me up in the comments. Drop that like button, share with friends, help your boy out. Try and get some new subscribers to this thing, or more subscribers, which would be cool. Other than that, you folks have a good one. Take it easy, and until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.